Ed Foster, the mayor of Quartzsite, Arizona, he joins us now about the showdown that happened. This has now gotten international attention. They have told the mayor that he's fired, the city council now. I guess you don't need elections. You just fire the mayor. Well, he went and canceled their, quote, illegal meeting. I guess it's not following the state laws on that. And they went ahead and had it anyway. Mayor Ed Foster of Quartzsite, thanks for joining us, sir. Tell us what happened.
Well, thanks again for having me on again. And I appreciate your support and all of your listeners, but this situation in Arizona is just so similar to what's going on across this country. We have bureaucrats trying to run the government. They think they're in charge. They refuse to bow to the elected people. They are running roughshod. And like in the case of Quartzsite, we have a town council who are puppets for these people. You know, they rubber stamp everything they do. It's just unconscionable what this is. And this is true in all of America right now, you know?
Well, yes, sir, Mayor. Break down what happened.
Well, this morning, you know, first they had this illegal meeting Sunday, and it violated open meetings law because first it wasn't agendized, it wasn't announced. They called it, on very short notice. I refused to attend it. I opened the door to town hall. I seen they were having an illegal meeting, and I said, no, I'm not coming into this meeting. It's illegal. And as I said that, the police officer who was guarding the door pulled the door closed, and you can see in the video that's online, clunk, and the door was locked. So that was the final straw. Public meetings are just that. They're open to the public. When they lock that door, there was no other justification at that point for that meeting. That meeting was illegal. The business they conducted behind that locked door is illegal. And therefore, the justification for the meeting they called this morning on short notice, I actually got notified. I didn't get notified officially. Friends of mine last night came to me around 8 p.m. and told me, my God, they scheduled a meeting for 10 o'clock. And I had thought because of the emergency order, they'd cancel all meetings. In fact, it said that. But they didn't bother to tell me there'd be a meeting. And I don't think they thought that at 10 o'clock this morning there was going to be such a media circus at their meeting. But it was. Every television station, everybody's covering it. But in front of God and the world, when I told them this meeting was illegal and walked out, they instructed the vice mayor to go ahead and bring the meeting to order, and they conducted business illegally again. Well,
they think because they have, quote, the power of the office that they're God, and it's classic. I mean, this is something they're definitely not going to win in the end. Mayor, this has become a big international story, obviously. AP reporting on it, you name it. Where is it going from here? I mean, if they're allowed to get away with this, will it become a imperium?
First off, one of the things that's supporting this is this chief of police, who at this point in time, because the 80% of the Quartzsite PD have filed this letter complaining about him, alleging a criminal act, and under that circumstance, that man should be sitting home in a rocking chair waiting for an investigation. And as far as I can tell right now, my QPD officers who filed that complaint are saying that there's less than an energetic investigation going on by DPS right now. What I'm asking is that the listeners and the friends of listeners or whatever contact the governor and say it's about time this chief of police gets a thorough investigation.
Well, why do you think the state police and others aren't going to want to investigate? Because they're run by chiefs that don't want to be investigated. This is what happens in government. They all start not investigating each other so that they can do whatever they want, and then that allows government to go even more wild, and then it starts snowballing downhill.
Well, what I'm doing is using this international media storm that's out there, and I'm asking that we keep the pressure on to the responsible state authorities to make a real investigation. I swear that if this chief of police is cleared of all these charges, these officers have put against him, I will shake his hand and congratulate him. But until he is cleared of all charges, he should not be wearing a badge and a gun. He should be sitting at home until this investigation is done. That is what I went to the governor's office a month ago trying to figure out how to get it done.
Mayor, can you stay with us a few more minutes on the other side? We're going to go back.
I'm yours until you tell me you don't.
Okay, well, we'll just do a few more minutes. Then I'm going to go to the other callers and a bunch of other news. The head opium dealer, the president of Pakistan's brother, has been killed. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Well, the corruption is racing through the body politic right now like a bad case of Ebola. But we're waking up to it. And it's going to be a nasty process. But everything you do every day, going to city council, going to state houses, investigating, being involved, researching how the world really works, that's going to turn our society around. Now, I want to get to your calls, but I also have a bunch of news. We're going to finish up with the mayor here for a minute or two. Then I'm going to hit some news, and I'm going to go to your calls because I love hearing from you and the great points. Got the best callers and listeners in the world. A very important issue, though. I shot a video on the left-right paradigm yesterday, how at the leadership positions of the Republican and Democratic parties, they're pretty much on the same team, but they toss political footballs back and forth while we play monkey in the middle, running back and forth. And I shot footage of my French bulldog running back and forth, symbolizing the voters. And that's up at prisonplanet.com at the bottom of the page. And why it's a big scandal now. I'm an animal abuser. I docked the dog's tail and ears, of course, the people making these accusations. Can't focus in on the political issues I'm covering, and they don't know that French bulldogs naturally have bat ears and have short tails. They don't trim the ears or the tails, and I wouldn't do that to my dog. But see, we've been trained to obsess over petty things, and it won't matter. That'll be a new conspiracy theory. Okay, fine. In fact, we did trim his ears and tail. Of course, we didn't, but hey, if it makes you feel good, we did, okay? In fact, put the evil dog back up on screen for folks, if you can there, because I know we've got all these serious issues to cover. There he is, the French bulldog captain, the controlled left-right paradigm for dummies. But by talking about this, like I could act like a wounded bird, actually, like I'm trying to get you away from the nest. Oh, my gosh, I've been caught. I've been caught. So that'll just make hundreds of thousands of people watch the video now because I've made a scandal out of it. So, again, no weapon formed against us will prosper. Okay. Now there's a whole conspiracy. We'll start. There'll be endless discussions and forums about, is the tail docked on the dog? Because people don't believe anything anymore. That's the... Okay, now I'm ranting. Going back to Mayor Ed Foster of Quartzsite. Mayor, so where does it go from here? I mean, the mystery paychecks, can't find out where those are going, can't have investigations. I mean, did you say to them when you got there, you can't fire the mayor? I mean, are they going to nullify other elections? What's happening?
I didn't tell them any such thing. I don't acknowledge that their law was illegal, that they put the town manager and the town chief of police in charge. That's an illegal law. I refuse to acknowledge that. I still perform my duties as mayor, and I'm going to continue to do that. If they wanted to do this, and they could call a regular meeting, and they could rubber stamp the law change because that's the way they do it. But at least it would be done as a legal meeting with the citizens of Quartzsite in attendance, and I'm sure that the meeting would break down in pandemonium like it did today because the people are upset with what they're doing. The people have really woken up here in Quartzsite, and they're jumping up and down at them.
The people? I mean, who needs a mayor? Wait. Mayor, who needs a mayor? Who needs the people, the 3,600 of the town? You got a town manager and a police chief now. In fact,